Hey guys, Loco here with another Loco recap. For you today, I have Dignitas versus Team Liquid. When I heard these two names, Dig versus TL, especially early in the season, I thought we would get a very standard 5v5 team fight North American kind of match. But instead, we got a pretty exciting game that was played around objectives and actually split pushing. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to have a game like this. So without further ado, let's get started with the draft. So the bans are actually incredibly standard for both teams. For Dignitas, they ban Ornn, Tahm Kench, and Set. For Ornn and Set, both they're independent, resource-free champions that Impact loves playing, and Dignitas wants to get rid of them because Huni likes diving, Huni likes pressuring the enemy, and it's really hard to do that when they have champions like Ornn or Set. As for Tahm Kench, champions like Aphelios and Senna are the two best AD carries in the meta right now, and TL loves playing bot-oriented, and Tahm Kench really helps with that. So banning out Kench also makes a lot of sense. As for TL, they're just banning the blue side OPs, Lucian, Rumble, Akali. These are incredibly strong first pick, and TL doesn't particularly play them well. The only thing weird about the draft is Qiyana not being present for both teams. While Qiyana has been an incredibly popular champion in EU, there's not really a Qiyana player, maybe other than Huni on both teams, so yeah, she went unpicked and unbanned. As for the picks themselves, where I was really surprised was 4 and 5 for TL. So they started with Lee on their second half of draft phase, which is kind of confusing to me because they showed a lot of priority on Jarvan last week, and also when the AD carries are Senna and Aphelios, Jarvan is actually incredibly nice to have because he has long range guaranteed engage, and that makes it really hard for Senna and Aphelios when they don't have flash. But there is things playing in Dignitas' favor because they have Thresh. It's not as good to play Jarvan into because Thresh can cancel out the EQ, and he can also lantern the AD carry getting caught. But yeah, I was still very surprised that TL is actually opting into more of a 1-3-1 comp with the Lee Sin and the Ryze pickup, especially the Ryze into Ori. Traditionally, Ryze hasn't been, I would say, a counter to Ori. It's been an even matchup, or a matchup that's been favored towards Ori at times. So yeah, very interesting from TL. I thought they would go something more standard, something like a Victor mid lane or an Azir paired up with a team fighting jungler, but they actually went with a pure 1-3-1 comp. Aatrox and Ryze both want to split push. While they are team fighters, their main goals in the mid game is to be in side lane and provide pressure, and Lee Sin's really good with that too. So TL with a new flavor, win or lose, I really like TL differentiating what they're doing instead of just doing the teamfight comp over and over again. Dig, on the other hand, went for something incredibly standard, Froggen on Ori, Huni on Gangplank, and just filling it out with Aphelios, Thresh, and Jarvan. I mean, what? Froggen playing a control mage, Huni playing a carry? Color me surprised. Anyways, to sum up, win condition for TL is going to be 1-3-1, and being able to get a split pusher stronger than the Gangplank. Both Aatrox and Ryze can achieve that, but they do need the gold. As for Dignitas, they want to make sure nor the Ryze or the Aatrox really gets out of control and really go into team fights later on. So the first play I want to show you is this 2v2 in mid lane. Froggen and Grig able to land a beautiful Orianna ult on Jensen. Even though Jensen had flash, he didn't flash the right way, and Grig was positioned in a way where if Jensen flashed backward, he would still get hit by the ball, and that's exactly what happened. Really well done. Because Froggen does not have flash there, Froggen does not have cleanse there. He's actually in a really dangerous spot in the 2v2, but Dig was actually able to come out ahead due to Jensen making a mistake and Froggen and Grig making it hard for him. So we have both Dig and Team Liquid splitting the map right here. Dignitas playing for bot side, TL playing for top side. Even though TL's AD carry and support are already on the turret, Dig is going to be the one actually coming out ahead. And it gets really technical, so listen up. The plates on the turret are actually really hard to take when there's only a few of them left due to the high amount of resistance. But Herald does true damage to turret, so they're going to be able to blast through. On the other hand, for Team Liquid, they have multiple people trying to get this turret, and the resistance for the turret builds up when you have multiple people there for a long period of time. So Dig is already on their second turret, TL still hasn't taken one, and yeah, Dig is just killing them in terms of tempo. Dig gets a little overeager here trying to kill Impact. They should have just let him be, because if Grig doesn't die here, they can follow this up nicely into a dragon. But still, a very nice tempo lead for Dignitas. So it's a really delicate situation for TL right now. As you can see on the map, they don't have a lot of vision and all the waves are pushed in, and they need to slowly inch back on the map. But look at Double Lift Flash here. It's just barely up, so he's being extremely careful to approach. and Grig recognizes that he doesn't have his flash up. He uses the Shroud too early, Huni gets his ult down, Grig gets his ult down, Johnson's able to get a lovely grab at him ult on 3 people, Jensen finishes off the kill. They recognize perfectly that Senna is incredibly vulnerable, and I don't know why Doublelift used his Shroud first before coming up, but yeah, he did that, and it made it really easy for Dig to just press the GP ult and Jarvan EQ ult in there and kill the Senna. So a very similar situation to last time, but this time Double has his flash up and TL's pushing all the way in bot, giving a way that the duo can run to without really getting cut off. So Dig tries for the engage again with Huni using his ult and teleporting in, Double using his Shroud and running away, and now they joined up with Jensen and Impact. Surenfire has the flank, and the Ryze and Senna are in a very safe position. Grig can't really get to them. Ryze dodges the hook. Yeah, even when Grig is on Doublelift, no one can really follow up due to the terrain and due to the distance that's created. So even though TL isn't doing the greatest on the flank side, they used a lot of their cooldowns to try to get at Double, and Jensen's able to get in there and just put the damage down. Like Ryze right now, whenever the CCs are gone, is able to take over teamfights very, very easily. Now TL takes the lead from that, and Jensen going all the way bottom to pressure. Some people on Dig forced to recall. Double and Impact staying mid, staying up with the pressure and helping Jensen by splitting the map. So Huni comes here to defend, but Jensen is level 16 and also has 3 items, so he's just incredibly strong right here. And also Double and Impact able to get mid turret because they force Frog into back. And yeah, just look at the damage Jensen's able to put out on Huni. It is so crazy what Ryze can do at level 16 with 3 items. And this is one of TL's core win condition, making sure the Ryze is a lot stronger than any of the side laners. And because Jensen stayed in side lanes and was able to pick up the farm along with the kills. I mean, you can see his CS here, 314 compared to Huni's 264. Also, Huni doesn't have any kind of MR. He is not a champion that anyone on Dignitas is going to be able to deal with one-on-one. With Huni dead, Jensen continues his push, and rest of TL are positioned near Baron. So if Dig is able to send multiple people down bot, then they can just start Baron and force them in a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. Jensen starting with ult, able to get out, and he's going to be able to just teleport all the way to Baron, creating a 5v3 situation. This Baron is so free for TL. And this is just 1-3-1 at its core. You're able to split the map, people have to send multiple people to deal with you, and if they don't, you're able to kill the other person. TL has to be careful about Grig getting in here. This is going to be a 50-50. Looks like Grig jumped in just a little too early, and Surenfire is able to kick him and take Baron for themselves. Ooh, Surenfire ends up getting caught. Looks like CoreJJ is getting out. Looks like everyone on TL is going to get out. The bad thing here though is even though TL is able to take Baron, and they're going to be able to reset with 4 people holding Baron, Dragon is coming up, and Surenfire is going to be dead until the Dragon spawns, so Dig is actually going to be able to get Dragon Soul in a reply. So even though TL has Baron and they're in a really nice 1-3-1 formation, Dig is actually doing such a good job of holding on to all the turrets and not letting TL get anything for free. They have really good wave clear with the GP, with the Ori, and the Aphelios, especially when the Aphilio has Infernum. So TL's actually not able to find a good opening, and Dig is going to be able to hold the entire time TL has Baron and not really allow that much additional structure to be given over. Now we have Baron finally ending in about 3 seconds, and TL's pushing up a little too far on this mid lane. Grig goes in, but Doublelift is able to get a beautiful Shroud, and Grig isn't able to get the ult, and now rest of TL can close in on this really well set up fight. This is what I mean though, like Doublelift is in such a dangerous spot anytime this kind of thing happens, especially when he doesn't have flash. Luckily for him, he did have flash this time, and he was able to press Shroud before Grig got his ult off, and they're able to live and continue on with their siege. Now Baron's back on the map, and Dig is left in a really sticky situation. TL has Jensen split pushing bot side, they can't send multiple people or they give up Baron for free, so Dig actually takes the risk and they start a 4v4 at Baron with Huni defending. Huni can help a little with his GP ult, but it's still a really dangerous spot because they're doing Baron, and if they lose this Baron fight, they're going to lose the game also. TL's just going to be able to march down bottom with it. Ori able to get a nice 2-man ult, followed up by an Aphelios ult, And Johnson's able to actually deal with the flank of impact because he has Severum and the Ori shield, so he just uses Severum Q. So Dig coming out ahead, able to kill core and force TL off from this push. Jensen can't continue his push. His team can't do Baron. Rest of Dig is going to collapse. And there's going to be Elder Drake coming up. So Core JJ is dead, and rest of Dignitas is walking up to this Elder Drake. I think TL makes a really critical mistake here. So Jensen ends up backing. And I think he's backing for his voice staff. He's going to purchase it the moment he gets into base. So yes, Core JJ is dead, but you're a level 18 Rise, and it's so scary to give up Elder like this. And Dig is going to run straight to Baron to match you guys. So I'm not sure if this was a planned call for TL. Let's give them Elder, and we're going to take Baron. But even here, it is so risky. This is just a straight on 5v5. Oh, Grig gets kicked out and he's not able to flash back in. Really nice from Surenfire. So Grig used EQ to make sure he can't get kicked from Surenfire, but the Baron wasn't low enough to smite, so Surenfire did get the kick and TL gets Baron, even though they are trading 1-for-1 for jungle. But did you guys see how that dangerous that situation was? Imagine that's a full-blown team fight where Dignitas has Elder and TL doesn't. Imagine Dig is able to get Baron, TL just gave up 2 major objectives. I think that call to back off from Elder was so risky from TL, and they got very lucky that this situation worked out. Now here we have Jensen split pushing in a side lane, and Dig is going to wrap around all the way and have 3 people go on him. He's able to just instantly burst Aphromo and flash out from the Ori ult, but he's running towards the enemy team. Johnson is able to get a lovely Calibrum Q, and they're able to kill Jensen. And now with Jensen dead, TL can't continue their push with the Baron. So Dig wants to capitalize on the fact that Jensen is dead and it's a 4v5, so they continue on with their own push. Johnson lands a really good Gravitum ult on double lift, but Grig just isn't able to reply in time, and nor is Froggen. Froggen tried to flash R, and double lift got to flash out right after the Gravitum ult ended. So now Dig is way too committed, and TL is able to clean up. And that's going to be mid and jungle dead for Dignitas. Man, Johnson landed a perfect Gravitum ult, and if people just followed up in time, double would have died, and the situation looks completely different. Now we have Team Liquid firing back with their own push. Huni tries to do his best job to defend, but it is late game and turrets are gonna melt like butter, especially for champions like Rise who build pure AP and can get massive amounts of AP. AP actually helps you do additional damage to structures. Man, this looks grim for Dig. They're gonna port everyone up topside, playing for that 3rd inhibitor. The minions actually helping, getting the turret HP down, or turret armor and MR, excuse me. Starting with a hook on Core JJ. 3-man Gravitum ult into Ori ult. Oh, beautiful. This Johnson guy is just so insane. Flashing after with Severum Q, and then the Gravitum slow on impact. Not all the way over committed, making sure they can kill impact. And then Grig buying time and then using stopwatch, only double lifter alive, and Huni's pushing up all the way mid lane to make sure they can actually end the game off of this push. Everyone just doing their job perfectly. And this is going to be it. This is how Dig beats Team Liquid. I think both teams were making really crucial mistakes later on in the game, and nerves were getting to them. And yeah, that's just how the game ends. I really have to praise Johnson. This guy played incredibly well throughout the whole game, never got caught, always making sure he can pressure double lift whenever he doesn't have flash, or even when he does have flash, and landing multi-man Gravitum ults. Just Aphelios well played. This is what it is. I can't believe this guy's a rookie. We don't see veteran AD carries in North America playing at this level, taking this kind of risks, and actually being able to execute. Just, where did you come from? Just mad props. Mad props. So I hope you guys enjoyed that recap of Dig versus TL. I expected a really boring team fight, like who's the better macro team later on. Let's not do anything early game, but it was actually really exciting. Dignitas knew that they had to find engages on Senna, and TL also pulled off some nice split push action, something we really don't get to see a lot in North America. And yeah, once again, Johnson just proving himself to be an outlier, not like any of the other NA rookies we've seen. I think the last this kind of hyped up rookie and this kind of performance straight from solo queue or academy or challenger, whatever you want to call it, is Dardoch. This is like Dardoch licorice level of debut and just doing well and actually being a threat on stage. So I'm going to keep a close eye on Dignitas. they seem more and more legit as the time goes on. I really do want to see what happens when some of the melee carries like Irelia, Silas, Akali are back in the meta. There's more assassins, there's more roaming on the map. I really want to see how Froggen adapts to that. I want to see what happens if tank meta comes back to top lane, how Huni's going to adapt to that. But my god, for the meta we're in right now, the level of play from Dignitas just has been so excellent. So yeah, props to you guys. Also, one thing I do want to say, there's a lot of fans talking about how analysts don't know jack shit and how people were talking about Dignitas having a shitty offseason. I will tell you this. Outside of Huni, nobody on Dignitas' roster was their first choice. They were either their second or third choice. So Dignitas didn't even get the roster they wanted. This is not the version of roster that Dignitas would have had if they had their way. So yes, in a sense, Dignitas did get lucky after the Huni pickups. I just wanted to get that out there because there's been so much fans talking about Dignitas roster, Dig lost offseason, because they did lose the offseason in a sense. They just were able to get lucky with some of the pieces that were left over and put together a cohesive team. Anyways, one last thing. I'm not crazy, I'm just Loco. Bye.